My Lords, I know it would be the wish of the whole House that I should take this opportunity to pay tribute to the memory of the noble Lord-Grimond, who died yesterday. Tribute has already been paid outside this House to his role in the Liberal Party. His leadership perhaps ensured its survival, but he was far from being solely a party man. He was someone who was regarded with admiration and warm affection by members of all parties. On his retirement from another place, his distinguished record made it natural that he should have been made a member of this House. And I'm sure your Lordships would agree that he was also naturally suited to this House, and it was not surprising he became and remained an active participant in our proceedings. Indeed, his last speech in this House was made the last time the House sat, only on last Thursday. The noble Lord's presence will be much missed on all sides of the House, and I know that I can speak for all of your Lordships in sending our sincere condolences to his widow and family.
My Lords, on behalf of these benches, may I echo the sentiments expressed by the Leader of the House. If I may say so, expressed not only on behalf of this party, but I think on behalf of us all. I think Lord Grimond was a somewhat rare figure in our recent political life. He was preeminently a man of deep conviction and deep principle. As the Leader of the House said, more than any other single person, he was probably responsible for the survival of the Liberal Party. Although we were political opponents, all of us would wish to pay tribute to those qualities of leadership, determination, foresight, and indeed vision which he showed, particularly in his lifelong advocacy of the two great causes of European unity and Scottish self-government. And here, in your Lordship's House, he was a regular attender. He was indeed in his place as late as Thursday of last week, as the Leader has reminded us, so that the news of his death, I think, came as a shock to us all. Of the man himself, my Lords, he was cultivated, he was humorous, he had a mildly self-deprecating air which proved extraordinarily popular with the British voter. He certainly had little time for the pompous or the over-pretentious. His views on the intricacies of our bureaucracy were, I think, never concealed, were expressed pungently and indeed with great force. In short, my Lords, he was a man who gave politics a good name. I think we will all miss him greatly, and I'd like to join in the expressions of sympathy to his immediate family.
My Lords, with the sudden death of Joe Grimond, the House and the nation have lost an unusual figure of high natural distinction. It is rare for a political figure who never held office to achieve such a clear place in the hearts and minds of the public as did Joe Grimond, and perhaps rarer still to retain it with, if anything, growing affection and respect over 25 years of retirement from fully active leadership. It was partly because, as David Steele most felicitously put it last night, he inspired a generation. But it was also because of a quality of his private personality, which, because that was all of a piece with his political image, somehow managed to communicate itself to a wider public. He was an immensely funny man, with a deflating, and as the noble Lord Richard has said, self-deprecating wit, which I have rarely seen the equal. He had dazzling charm, saved from ever being cloying, because he could not see a balloon with even a touch of pomposity in it, his own as much as anyone else's, without desiring to prick it. In this House for the past 10 years, he was perhaps a little insulated by growing deafness. But once he had got, as it were, onto the wavelength of a conversation, he had all his old lightness of touch, as I rediscovered as recently as Wednesday of last week. He had an exceptional, unforced dignity and distinction. He was not perhaps the most glossily turned out of members of your lordship's house, but however old the suit, however shaggy the appearance, no one in any company could ever doubt his inherent quality. He will be much missed in many circles. Our sympathy goes out to his wife, who, after many years over which they constituted a most notable couple, has herself been sorely afflicted for the past year, and also to his 3 children.
It's a privilege to have been asked by our convener, Lady Hilton Foster, to speak from these benches. Lord Grimond was leader of the Liberal Party when I first entered the other place in 1964, and in those days it was not considered good form to call senior members by their Christian names. So it was not until 1967 when I joined that most discreet and exclusive of all the secret societies, the Whip's office, that I came to know him as Joe. The highest accolade in the Commons is to have the respect of the House. And those members of your Lordship's House who were previously in the other place will know exactly what I mean. That is to say, members who, when they rise to speak, bring other members into the chamber rather than send them out. And this accolade is only achieved by those of the highest integrity. So if I was rationed to one word, my lords, it would be that word, integrity, and also I would have to add, great courtesy and great charm. My lords, I shall never forget, on a visit to northern India some years ago, seeing an obelisk which was erected by the villagers in memory of a young Honourable East India Company collector. I have forgotten his name, but I well remember the inscription, which was, "He was trusted absolutely." A fitting epitaph, my lords, to our much respected and much loved colleague and friend, Joe, Lord Grimond.
My lords, I should like to endorse all that has been said in tribute to the memory of the noble Lord Grimond. From these benches, we face not political opponents, but those with whom we share a commitment to a certain independence of political spirit. No one has done more in his generation than the noble Lord Grimond to foster that spirit of independence, which is so profoundly important to the health of our political institutions. My lords, his example would be missed, not least, by those on these benches, by whom he was held in very great respect, and I join your lordships in expressing our sincere sympathy to his widow, his family, and his many friends.
Hear, hear. The Baroness Turner Camden.
My lords, I beg to put the question standing in my name on the order paper.